Hey friends, welcome back to the channel with another movie reaction. We are doing Weathering with You, and for now I am actually redirecting this to a link over on Patreon in the link in the description below. Everybody can go check it out, and I'm doing this because my reaction to Your Name got a copyright strike, and seeing how this is the same distribution company, same director slash writer, we're just redirecting it just to be safe. I need to avoid any copyright strikes. And as for Your Name, sadly I lost the data when my external hard drive died, so I have no way of recovering it. Only the full reaction is available on Patreon. I did file a counter notification, so hopefully the video gets put back up at some point. But otherwise, I'm sad that it's gone. But yeah, go click in the link in the description below to check out the reaction to this film, and I'll give you some time to do that. Let's say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What are you still doing here? Go watch the reaction first. Alright. Speaking of Your Name, though, it was so awesome to see Taki and Mitsuha cameo in this film. I grew to love those characters in Your Name so much. And at first I wasn't sure if Taki and Mitsuha had already met during the course of this film, but by the end I was like, oh, like Tokyo gets flooded for 3 more years, so they must have just met before all this rain came, since it wasn't raining when they met, right? But I actually looked it up, and Makoto Shinkai says that when we see Taki and Mitsuha, they haven't met yet in this film. So I guess there's a possibility they met during the break in the rain when Hina disappears for a bit. Either way, though, I'm really happy to have seen those two. I wish we got to see them interact with each other just a little bit. Maybe in Makoto Shinkai's future films, they'll gradually give us more and more of their story. That's not going to happen, probably, but I just wanted to. Yeah, if you can't tell, Your Name was like a 10 out of 10 film for me, and seeing as Weathering with You shares the same setting, even shares some characters, is written and directed by the same person, and shares a lot of the same themes, it's almost impossible not to compare them. And I do have to say I did enjoy Your Name more, but this is still a very solid film. The music from Raw Dimps was amazing. Again, the music started playing at some point during the movie, and I was like, wait, this sounds super familiar to the music in Your Name, and it's because it's from the same group. The animation is just next level, which was expected after how gorgeous Your Name was. That fireworks scene, the scene with both Hodaka and Hina falling from the sky, both very gorgeous. And yeah, I think those were the strong points of the film that were expected. I think where it's lacking a little bit is in the characterization of Hodaka, because we never find out exactly why he ran away from home. And I guess the story works without it, and it's not absolutely necessary. But I feel like knowing exactly what he was going through and what he faced when he went back home would have gone a long way toward me empathizing more with his character. And I feel like by the end of the film, the only thing that I was like clear on about his character is how far he's willing to go to be with the person he loves. And I just feel like I could have felt for him a lot more if we delved into his backstory and understood him as a person more. Like he wasn't close to being my favorite character, even though he's one of the leads. And actually, the most emotional part of the film for me was actually with Suga. He tries to stop Hodaka from running away and just tries to get himself to turn himself in so he doesn't get in any further trouble. But upon seeing how desperate he is to see Hina just one more time, Suga started doing everything he could to help Hodaka even just be able to see Hina one more time, even going so far as to assault a police officer to let him chase after Hina. And I mean, his whole backstory made it such a poignant moment because we knew he understood so much what it meant to want to see someone so much, with the way he wanted to see his own daughter, who he can only see on non-rainy days, which I don't understand exactly. But yeah, I felt like that would have been one of the biggest tragedies of the film, other than Japan being flooded, obviously. Because Suga helps Hodaka reach Hina again, and because of that, it never stops raining. So the time he's allowed to see his daughter is even more limited. And like after the time skip, he does show Hodaka a picture of him, he says, on a date with his daughter. But he basically went out of his way to help Hodaka, and then it rains and he gets to see his daughter even less and less. And that's really sad. I mean, he just went out of his way to help this kid on the boat, and it affects him in ways he can't even imagine. And I think this part is not. I'm not. I think I'm done talking about the negative points of the film, but there is something to be said about the characters and the decisions they make. Hodoka and Hina's business plan feels so incredibly flawed. Like, definitely would have been charging more money if I were them after business, especially after business really started to boom. Actually, the route I would have gone probably would be some sort of crowdfunding, because the way they do it in the film, like, everybody benefits from the sunshine whether or not they pay into it. So maybe setting something as simple as $1,000 and I'll bring sunshine to this one city for a while, because yeah, everybody benefits from it, and you can. Some people might not be able to afford it, but really need it, and there are corporations that need it a lot more sometimes. But they wind up selling her services for like 3,400 yen. That's like 30 something dollars in U.S. money. So that's like, know your own worth. I'm not saying you have to be super money hungry and make it and just try to gouge people, but there are ways to make more money, and especially given the circumstances they're in, there's definitely a middle ground to be had between being money hungry and I don't know, helping out, making exceptions when there's a good cause to make it stop raining, because they're all teenagers on their own, paying their way through life, and especially since Japan is apparently cursed to have rain forever without her, more money would have helped them stay on the run longer. It would have helped them do so many things differently. Set up a better life for her, for Hina's brother when she's gone, because she knew she was gonna disappear. But yeah, I don't know. Seems like they're children, of course, but it feels like they could have made more money off of this, which is a little frustrating. Other things about the film, I can't get over how good the McDonald's burger looked. I also haven't had McDonald's burger in a really long time now. I've barely eaten outside since the lockdown started, and kind of miss it. But you know what I'm missing most? I'm missing like French fries and fried chicken. I don't know why it's that, but that is what it is. That is what I'm missing. I think one of the things that doesn't translate so well across cultures is the fact that Hina was actually younger than Hodoka. I could tell it was meant to be an extremely emotional moment, that this young woman who was taking care of herself, her brother Nagi, and Hodoka as well in some ways, turned out to be younger than Hodoka. Like, he felt like he should have been the one taking care of her, I guess, since he was actually older, which, I mean, there's a greater emphasis on seniority in Japan. Students call older students senpai, the older students call younger students kohai, and so I do understand where they were going with the complete shock that Hina was younger than Hodoka, but it just didn't land with me since I live in the US and I've never experienced that. But there was also some role reversal with Nagi giving Hodoka some advice. I think I came away from the film with a better appreciation for Nagi, actually, than I did for Hodoka, which is odd. The whole criminal element portion of the film felt unresolved. I felt like there was a gun. It seemed like a convenient excuse to get Hodoka a gun and have him use it. But he does throw it away at the end, which is good, because otherwise that's a pretty serious offense. I don't know how the criminal justice system works in Japan, but even if he's a minor, firing a gun at a police officer would be really bad. It's weird because I'm pointing out a lot of problems I had with the film, but I still have to say I thoroughly enjoyed it. That's weird, right? It's actually kind of difficult to articulate what it is that I actually enjoyed so much about the film, but I know I enjoyed it. So that feels like a kind of a cop-out thing to say in a review and the commentary of this, but it's kind of the best I can do, I guess. I mean, I guess the production value is so high, and there's that one moment where I'm just like completely drawn in and invested with Suga fighting to help Hodoka reach Hina, and yeah, the part where I mentioned earlier with them falling from the sky is really great too. I'm gonna give this movie an 8.5. I do have one more complaint, but it's more of a complaint about how good it is, because the thing I hate most about the two Makoto Shinkai films I've seen so far is that I want to see more. I need like 30 minutes more after the scene where they reunite. I mean, this is a common complaint I have across all mediums. Like, after everything winds down, after the climax of the story, I just want to spend some time with our characters and see them get to relax, see these people outside of ridiculous circumstances, just possibly getting to enjoy life. I have seen some fan art of Your Name of Mitsuha and Taki, and that fulfills it in some ways. But I would love to see like animated shorts of them, just I don't know, just enjoying life together, because you get so invested in their relationship and their feelings for each other, and then right when they meet, it feels like a cliffhanger almost. But I guess it's left up to our interpretation of what we, it's left up to our imaginations. But really would love to see it too. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today. Leave a like. No, you can't do that because this is not going on YouTube right away. But thanks for watching. If you want to watch the full reaction, it is on Patreon in the full reaction tier. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye friends.